Can you make $10,000 in a month self-publishing books on Amazon as a complete beginner? That's what I'm going to break down in this video. How in this market I would go from zero to making my first $10,000 if I knew nothing about self-publishing books. So if you know nothing about self-publishing and you want to get to a position where you can make $10,000 online in a month, then this video is for you. I'm going to break it all down for you right now. If you don't know me, I'm Jace Perry. I made $50,000 in a month self-publishing, $20,000 profit in a month. I've got a link to my Instagram below where I've documented everything from when I started from zero to making 50,000. I've made nearly $1 million in sales across Amazon. Those are books, t-shirts, everything, online money on Amazon. So I can help you make online money. Okay, so let's get started. This video was inspired by a reel that I done yesterday. Let me just see if I've got it here. I done a reel on Instagram and it got me thinking. Can a complete beginner actually make life-changing money? This was it here. It's backwards on your screen, but I said there, can I actually make life-changing money self-publishing? Now, if you know about reels, you know you kind of got to have a hook first to get attention, and then you kind of work out the caption around the hook. You do it that way around, okay? So while I was writing the caption, which I wrote here, I said, here's the truth. Most self-publishers would fail, because that's the truth of it. I think about, I don't know where I saw the stat. I think it was like 87% of self-publishers that make less than $100 or something like that. And then there's a load of self-publishers that get a KDP account, get an Amazon account, don't actually publish. And also I see it with my students and the people that I've coached. Just looking at that amount of people, the amount that actually take action and consistently, most of them fail. That's the truth of it, right? I'm just being real with you, okay? Most will fail. Most won't get to 5 figures a month, all right? You got to know, you got to have expectations about this that are realistic, because then you'll be able to make 10,000 when you realize the work you need to do. Okay, some of you will probably come off this now and be like, I forget that, that's not easy, doesn't sound like it's guaranteed. No, it's definitely not. It will require work, but I'm going to break it down simply for you now. Yeah, I was thinking about this. How can I do it so simple that a complete beginner that doesn't know Amazon KDP will see this video and think, okay, that's what I've got to do. It's going to be difficult, but there's a chance, all right? Whilst staying legit realistic about it as well. So I don't want to give you false hopes. Let's just look at this now. Let me zoom in. So just say you're starting at zero now. You just see me now. Now you don't even know what self-publishing is. It's fine. You want to get to 10 grand a month. Let's see, on a long enough time scale, just say you put in the work to publish a book. Right, on a long enough time scale, will you be able to make $10,000 in a month? On a long enough time scale, yes, you will. But it's just most people won't last that long. So it might take too long. Okay. So if we think now, time, I'm just going to put here, make 10K in a month. So time is one of them. If you put in the time, you will eventually make 10K in a month. Everyone will, but it could take freaking years and years and years, right, to get to 10K in a month. Right. So how do we decrease that time? That skill will decrease the long amount of time, because if you get better at creating books that sell, then you'll reach 10,000 a lot quicker, like I did. I took on, my best month was 3,000. Then I bought some coaching with some couple of guys that are like smashing it on self-publishing. Awesome guys, helped me out a lot, and I went from 3,000 being my best month to 52,000 being my best month, because I acquired skills and knowledge from them, and then I implemented it as well. Okay, so time, I'm just going to chuck action in here as well, because obviously nothing happens if you're not taking action. So time, action, and skill. So these three here, if you put them together, then you will decrease the time it takes to get to 10,000. Now, when we're talking about skill, what skill am I talking about here? Firstly, it's the, I'm going to say knowing the customer. I was going to write niche, but I think niche is, you can find a niche, but I think what really makes you money self-publishing is when you know a customer. That's why some of my students that are doing subjects they know very well, because they are the customer. They make sales immediately because they know the customer. I think if you know a customer really well and you know how to talk their language and sell a book to them, that's when you make money. So I'm going to say the skill of knowing a customer. That's a big one. Then once you know the customer, how are you going to sell that book to them? Well, you need a very good title. That's a skill in itself. Title is very overlooked in my opinion. If you can create good titles, that alone can sell books. You see them on Amazon all the time. You might have saw that book, Learn a Lot While You Sit on the Pot. I was watching that when it came onto Amazon like about a year ago. I was just watching it take off, and people were just buying that as a gift for Christmas because of just the title. Not much going on with the interior, and I've seen journals like this that have just skyrocketed because the title's so good. So if you're good at creating titles, you can make a lot of money. So that's another very important skill. By the way, this is in order, by the way. If you know the customer, that's the top skill. Title next is the top skill. Next is the cover design. Knowing how to put that title on a cover so it's attractive for the customer, gets attention and gets a sell. Right? Cover is very important. And I'm going to put in here typography. Typography is a very good skill. If you're good with typography, you can sell a book, because most people scan the cover if the typography is good. And I don't mean it has to be fancy. I just mean interesting and good. Like it knows how to talk to the customer. Yeah, then you can sell the book. So I think those are the core three. If you got a good skill level in those three, I increased my level in those three, and it got me to like well past 5 figures in a month. I think they're very important. The next comes the actual interior or the inside of the book. Now, most self-publishers and authors that I've seen, and I scroll the Facebook, Amazon, KDP account, self-published account, they prioritize this bit, and that's why they don't make sales. See, they write a book that they want to write, so the book's like very good in their eyes. It's amazing, but then because it's not directed at a specific customer, they haven't really focused on the title or the cover, they struggle to sell. See? So what you want to do is do it my way around. Find a customer first that loves buying books and get to know them and know how to sell to them. Don't just create a good book because you think it's a good book, okay? Remember, I teach people how to make money self-publishing. If you want to become a really good author, then that's fine. But you might not necessarily make money from that, like you see a lot of authors struggling. Okay, do it this way around, especially if you want to get to 10,000. Okay, so the inside of the book's important, like important enough so it gets value and don't get bad reviews. But just get it done, because I'm just going to put this in red because this is part of the action thing. What's important about this bit, this skill in doing the inside of the book, I think the skill is to be able to do it fast, because you're not going to get to $10,000 with one book. So you want to be able to publish books consistently to get better at doing books. And the inside of the book is the sticking point. This bit can take the most time, especially when you're starting out and you're doing it on your own. This can take the most time. I teach my followers and students speed. I've created a system where you can create a book in like inside of a book, like a proper book in 4 hours, like a full content book, not some rubbish color book or line journal which won't make you any money long term. I'm talking about a proper book. It could be like an AI trivia book or workbook or a knowledge book, self-help book. I teach them speed because it's very important, right? So that skill of doing the interior, the more skill on being able to do it fast, okay? Then the description, I would say, is next. Don't sleep on the description. I used to do rubbish descriptions, and then I got my coaches to check one of my books, and they said they said I should improve the description, like actually write it properly to talk to the customer. Spend some time doing it. Don't just do some AI rubbish. Okay, once I did that, definitely I saw an increase in sales on my books. So the description's got to be well copywritten, and that's a skill as well. And when you know your customer, you can do a well copywritten description. And A+ content. Now, if you don't know what A+ content is, that's the graphics. You know when you're buying something on Amazon, and you're scrolling through so you're scrolling down the page, and then you see some graphics that sell the product or book to tell you what it's about and how amazing it is. That's the A+ content that will help you sell books as well, provided you do it right. Reviews, I'm just going to put reviews here because you could buy reviews using a site called Pubby. I still use Pubby. You don't buy reviews. What you do is you buy an introduction to people to look at your book. So there's a bunch of readers on Pubby, and then you put your book on Pubby and say, look, read my book and give me an honest review. And then they will give you an honest review, by the way. If your book's rubbish, they will give you like a rubbish review. But because it's a legit review, I think you can kind of get away with it. I still use it, but I don't recommend it because it's at your own risk, because I don't know if Amazon like that or not. But there you go. You can also get VAs on Facebook to do reviews, but again, I don't know how risky that is to your account. So that's at your own risk. And video reviews, you can get someone on Fiverr to get UGC content. I'm just going to put these down here because that's not really a skill. That's just getting people to leave reviews, okay? But let's just summarize this now real quick. So we're looking to make your first 10,000. We can all agree that if you were to take action, eventually you'll get there, but it might take a very, very, very long time. How do we decrease that time? We focus on these skills in this order. Now, this is what I teach my students. I say learn one skill today or before your next book and implement it into your next book. Then learn another skill or a bit about another thing, implement it into the next book. Just do it like that because you want to keep the action going. You want to keep publishing. Okay, and that brings me to my last point. The final point of this video is, if this is it and it's as simple as that, why do barely anyone ever reach 5 figures in a month? Because there's one thing that ties this all together. And this one thing is the thing that most people can't do. And the ones that get to 10,000 can do. And that is, I'm going to do it in red actually so it stands out. That is consistency. That's the one thing that will keep this all going. When you're consistent with your time, every single day you're working on your self-publishing. When you're consistent with the action, every single week you're publishing books. When you're consistent with learning the skills, every single day you're acquiring new skills. That keeps everything together and then gives you the highest chance of getting 10,000. And that's the bit. This is the bit that most people fail at. So if you're watching this and you think you can be consistent and you're willing to be consistent, and all you need to do then is just do these 3 things, and that will give you the best chance to get to 10,000. Because I can't see how there's anything else you need apart from this. I've kind of laid it all out here, and you can literally learn all of this YouTube for free, or you got courses like mine that package it all up together. But you can get all the information you need to acquire the skills. Then it's just a case of you consistently acquiring skills, consistently putting in that time, consistently publishing, and you'll get to 10,000. Now, as silly and as simple as that sounds, that's all I did. And I'm sure some of my students, they're at 1,000 now. Some of them are at 1,000. Some of them will reach 10,000, and it's just because they do that. That is it. It's simple, but not easy. Okay, guys, I'll be doing video. I did say I'll be doing a video a week, but I've ended up doing a video in a day because I just like talking about mindset and making money on self-publishing. If you're looking to make money online, I'll always recommend self-publishing because it's very easy, especially if you're busy and you want something that will start paying you money without the stress. And follow my channel. I'll be giving free tips like this, free videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.